Hello everyone and welcome to my Flosstube channel. So I'm Zoe and this is Coco and this is my channel all about my stitching endeavours. So I've had quite a lot of stitching this month to share with you, so I will try and get on. I am going to try and do a slightly shorter video for you this time because sometimes, I think last time's video was very long and I did edit out an awful lot because it was a lot longer than that to start with. But yes, let's get going. I stitched 29 days of the month this month, so lots of stitching to get on with. Okay, so my projects for the month. So yes, it was the 10th month of our my WIPGO, which is Jessie Marie Love Stuff, her sort of brainchild, and this month, so as we get towards the end of the year, a lot of my empty squares are all mainly the same project, but this month we did have 2 different projects drawn, luckily. So we had my Amazing Animal Kingdom and my Bathtime piece, but I don't think I've got, no, I haven't even got the pictures with them, probably because I put the pictures on the projects as I was working on them. So they're in this sort of bag behind me here. So I will put photos in of my progress. So we'll start with my Animal Kingdom because that's where I started the month. So my WIPGO squares, so my goal for each square is 4,000 stitches per month, or per square. So 8,000 per month for these projects. Which is quite a lot. So I'm not going to have goals quite this big for next year. I will admit it was quite a lot, but I managed it. I reached my goal, so I did 4,006 stitches onto this piece. So I work in 20 stitch diagonals, starting at the bottom left and working out. So this month I was on the bottom shelf of the piece, and I got some sort of heads put on the animals. So I had an eagle that I hadn't quite finished, so I almost finished up him, and a penguin that I hadn't quite finished either, so he's now got a head. And I think we're just getting it. I think I've just hit the tippy tops. This little black piece is just the bottom of an orca, which is going to take up quite a large section of the piece. So I think on my next strike down I'll hit that a bit better, and it'll be a nice large chunk of, you know, just plain stitching to add in, which will be quite fast to add in. It's always nice on a max colour piece when you get an area that has more than 2 stitches of the same colour. So yes, so I worked on that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, and yeah, like I said, 4,006 stitches, so I hit my goal for that. And then my second WIPGO piece is my other Heaven and Earth Designs piece, which is Bathtime. This is a regular size, regular colour piece. Again, I'm working this in 20 stitch diagonals, but going from the top left down. So yeah, so we're on our way back up to the top with this pass, and yeah, I think I've got a few flowers in that are on the not embroidered, engraved into the bath. And then I managed to fill in a gap because I had taken a couple of the colours where there was a bulk of the bath and I'd stitched right across rather than sticking to my diagonals. So I'm trying to kind of fill in the gaps between those big blocks now to even it up. But yes, but I reached, I did exactly 4,000 stitches on this piece. And I'm hoping, because I've only got 1 more square to draw for this project, I am hoping that I'll reach the top corner again. Well, it's not the corner, but the side, you know, the top of the diagonal. So I'll get a complete pass in this one. So fingers crossed. But this one I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 days on this one as well. But yes, so that was this one. I'm probably talking a bit fast. It's 5 minutes and I've already done 2 projects. So I'm going to try and slow down a bit going forward. My next project is my final goal piece for the year. So I did have four goals. Now I only have 3 because I finished my Christmas last month. No, I haven't fully finished that yet, but I need to do that this month because I want it ready for Christmas. So yes, so this is Lola Crow's Greenhouse of Oddities sew. I will put a picture in here of how it's going to look when it is finished, but it's from several years ago now, because she's now done the aquarium and the aviary as well. But I am keeping to the original releases. I'm trying to do one release per month, and yeah, I got my piece done for this month, and I got the back stitch done. So I remembered again. I'm good. So I spent 2 days stitching on this, and this section was 996 stitches. Oh, let's just scooch my needle minder out of the way. And this month's piece, I need to get more than just one clip at the top, I think, was this section here. So this is Charles Darwin, and some, there we go, a little pond, some lilies in, and some more flowers here. So there was 2 options for this one. You had Darwin or, oh, my brain's gone blank. No, I can't remember, but there was someone else. So a scientist that had done work on, oh gosh, my brain's gone. Like yes, and I did get a new needle minder from a little shop near where I am. It's not a needle minder, it is just a magnet, but I just put another magnet, you know, attached a back of another magnet onto it to make it into a needle minder. So yes, it's a little ghosty reading with a cat. Oh, they're having a milkshake. But yes, is it gonna show up? Maybe not. But yes, so as is our tradition with this piece, we are gonna do our learning for it. So let's see. Right. Okay, so I've got my the document. So Lola Crow did attach a information document with all of the pieces of the sow to let you know what it is you're stitching. And yeah, and she does have a snippet about Darwin and Carver, who was the alternate scientist. So we'll start with Carver just because he's not on here. He was a botanist and agricultural scientist who developed crop rotation and organic fertilisers, saving struggling farms in the southern US. He also discovered permaculture, and these revolutionary methods earned him world renown. So that was Carver. Darwin was a naturalist, and he did a lot of work on evolution, but his main focus was plants. And it was, yes, it does say it here. So his books on plants include The Power of Movement in Plants, describing the process which plants position themselves to grow towards light, and insectivorous plants. So like the pitcher plant and the Venus flytraps that we already had over there. But yes, so that is our scientist that we had. Plant-wise, the one that he is sort of sitting with there in the pot is called a telegraph plant, or a dancing plant. So they're found in Asia, tropical region of Asia, and the leaves move so rapidly that its motion can be seen in real time. Each leaf is hinged to allow it to reposition itself for optimal sunlight. But yeah, the small leaves at the base are what register the light and then tell the bigger leaves to move to where the light is. So very interesting. Then we have this one which I have heard of before, this pink one here. This is Mimosa pudica, which is also known as a touch-me-not, found in America and Southeast Asia. And these, I wonder if I might be able to find a link to a video of these, because they respond to touch. They don't like touch, so if you touch them they completely collapse, almost like a you know, a possum or whatever, when they sort of play dead, you know, it just completely collapses in on itself. And then if you leave it alone, they'll sort of reopen. It says this behaviour is likely to deter predators, but may also help it to retain water. And experiments have shown that it can be taught to ignore harmless stimulation. So yeah, so if whatever touches it doesn't hurt it, it will eventually not bother responding, which, you know, works to save energy. But yes, so they are quite fun to watch, but like repeatedly like poking the flank can be quite dangerous sort of thing to the plant, so you shouldn't do that, you know. And then what we have over here, so these white ones next to our little tree frog, the poison dart frog, is white water lilies that are found in quite a lot of places. So over this side of the pond, so Europe, the Middle East, North Africa. The flower and the leaves float on fresh water. They're attached by long stalks to roots underground. And then the shade prevents algae growing in the water and shelters the water residents from harm, sort of heat from the sun. But yes, so I have seen some lilies can actually grow quite a size. I believe they do have some in, is it Kew Gardens? They recently did their measure to see the size of them, and also the amount of weight those ones would hold. And I believe it was, you know, the best part of 100 kilos, I think, is you know, what they could hold, sort of distributed evenly across the whole set. Like, you just can't put a 100 kilo weight right in the middle. I think that would break through. But yes, so some water lilies and water plants can grow quite size. But anyway, there we go. This is Lola Crow's greenhouse on a 32 count even weave from Megan, which is kind of like a greeny greyish and sort of pink mottle. But yes, so that was it, and then that was my all three of my goals done for the month. So that left me the rest of the month to work on some of my WIPGO roles, and also to work on some other projects that I had in mind. So I finally got around to picking up a couple of new starts for the winter, is it called a winter gift exchange? What's he calling it? The winter connection. There we go. From Jason's cross stitches. So I believe the deadline is the 15th of November, but you will have to pop over to his channel to double check that. He does have a very specific video on the winter connection. I believe it actually says it in the title. It's about 2 or 3 videos ago. But yes, but the deadline is there, and it's basically you sort of sign up once you finish your project, and it's ready to go. You sign up. It's got a Google form to fill out. To, you know, what it is, where you can send it to, if you can do it, you know, if you're happy to send internationally, or if you can only sort of send within your own country, either because of postage restrictions or price restrictions, things like that. And you can sign up as many times as you like for however many projects, you know, pieces you have ready to gift. And then the rest of November he will kind of coordinate, you know, jiggle everyone up so that to work out who everyone's sending to, and send out the addresses so that everyone can get them in time for Christmas, or the end of the year at least. But yeah, so I picked up two separate pieces out of the winter, it was Lakeside Needlecraft's sort of winter Christmas book from maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. I never even thought to bring it down because it's upstairs. It was basically a book they did that was full of a whole variety of smalls for winter and Christmas themed. from a bunch of different designers. So I will have to go and dig out the book, because I'll have to put in who actually did these charts, because I don't know whose charts they are off by heart. But anyway, so I decided to start these because I was going away for a few days, and I figured these pieces were small enough and sort of quite, you know, easy enough that I could do them on the train while I was travelling. So I've actually popped these on in the wrong order because I started the other one first, but we will show you this one. This isn't quite finished because I need to dig out the fabric that I'm going to back it onto, because I want to match the front to the back. So let me show you. So this is, it's Stay Toasty, or it's supposed to say Stay Toasty this winter, but I kind of cropped it down to make it a bit smaller, mainly because the Stay Toasty this winter came to the same width, and when I finished it, I didn't want the words to disappear in the folds of the cushion thing. So I'm going to finish this as like a little cushion. But yes, and it's basically a little piece of toast, and it's got earmuffs and a scarf. However, in the chart, the earmuffs and scarf are red, but I thought, well, I don't think I've got any red fabric to back it onto. So I'm going to dig out the fabric that I am going to back it with, and then match the colour of the scarf to the fabric. But that shouldn't take too long to fill in, because that's all that's left. I've done all the rest of the stitching, and this was in total 1,219 stitches that I've done on this one so far. So that's my first piece, and this is using the sort of 14 count, like the gold sparkly Ada that I got in the from the raffle at the retreat I showed last month. But yes, and then it's just using regular the DMC that was called for. And the second piece that I had, that's not going to stick up, was this piece, which isn't showing up too well on the camera, because there is white here as well. You can see it when it's not on the camera. Maybe you guys can see it, it's just because I've got the blue light filter on mine. I don't know. But no, I don't think this is like a winter wordy square sort of thing. But yeah, it just says warm wishes, you know, you've got frosty mittens there. There's a snowman, hot cup of cocoa. But yes. So, and that one I'm going to finish, I'm thinking just as like a flat fold. But yes, and again, it's on that same 14 count Ada. So the Ada itself doesn't have any sizing in it. I mean, you can sort of see it's not very stiff at all. So it wasn't too hard to stitch with. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the fabric, really. It wasn't too hard to stitch with, there we go. But yes, so that one, the winter words, I put in, well, I finished it, so it was 1,763 stitches. So I got the majority of that done sort of whilst I was away and on the train. I think I just had like the warm wishes part to finish when I came home, and then this was done as far as that. But yeah, so then that was me home, and I could get my Republic board out. So I took it out. I will add in the video clips of me rolling for that. And my first roll, I didn't look back at what the rolls were, so I cannot remember what I rolled. And I did 900 stitches on this, so I must have rolled a 9. I probably should have rewatched this one, but I did not. So however I got there, it was 900. That's really bad, because I know at one point I did land on like an income tax or a chance or something. We're going to test my memory and say that this was just a straight roll of 9. Okay, and you can, you know, you'll be able to see the little clip and you'll be able to tell me how bad my memory is. But this is, let me show you. what we're doing. This is Harriett Salt 1886 from Hands Across the Sea, and this is a Bristol Orphanage sampler. I believe this is one of the largest, or it was one of the largest they had at the time. They had charted up. I am clearly not doing it in red because you've already seen that. So I am stitching this. Oh, it's got a few there. Oh gosh, making a mess. Right, I'm stitching this with Silks for You silk PR 148, which is this lovely sort of, it's not quite as bright as it's shown on my screen, but it's lovely sort of pinks and purples and sort of tealy blues. It's kind of more like, it's more towards a 930 blue than the 3850 that it looks like on the screen. And this is, it's definitely not as bright bluey pink as that, purple, sorry. It's definitely a bit warmer. A test of my DMC numbers, we're looking probably, no, I can't think of the number of DMC that is. No, can't do that one. And then the pink there is sort of maybe 950 pink. But yes, there we go. I probably should have checked that beforehand so that I could actually explain to you what the colours actually were. But anyway, 900 stitches did me this whole row here. So this is a 56 count greyish, pinkish grey from Ducas Designs, X-Jude Designs on Etsy. And here it is, that line. So it was the YZ of the rest of this second row's alphabet, and then I started with the A and I got to the N. So I got about half of the next alphabet done. But yeah, for now I'm just going in the lines of the alphabet and working across. But yes. So, and that fits quite nice there. So if you want to scale, this is a piece of A3. So it's double the width of an A4 sheet of paper. So 2 A4 sheets wide is the size of this. But yeah, in terms of how I'm going to finish it and frame it, that's a way off. Like, I haven't even thought about that yet. So I'm not worried about the size of it just yet. So the next piece I rolled was my Pandemic, and this one, so I got to 801 stitches. But yes, so here is about a quarter of the size of Pandemic, because I folded the fabric into 4. So I started on the bottom left and I'm kind of vaguely working up and out. And this was where I put my 800 stitches. So I'd already done this chunk here last time, and I was sort of working just down this little line here. I filled in this flower and then did this bird and started working up here. And then with my second needle, I started working this whole section up here. But yeah, so, and that is a mirror image of this section, so I'm kind of just working towards the middle, which will be here. But yeah, and that was 801 stitches. That was 1 to 3 days of stitching on that, or 3 partial days by the look of it, because I also worked on a couple of other projects those days. But yeah, so this is using the Silks for You, just in the undyed sort of the white, and this fabric is from a dyer that is no longer in business, but it's sort of pinks and sort of purples, blues, and some sort of yellows. You've got sort of some yellowy splodges here as well. So yes, but there is that one. And then my next roll, which was my last roll for this month, this roll I landed on, I believe I landed on both. I think I landed on a chance and a community chest. or was it one of the, yeah, I'm sure it was both. And one of them I landed on the card I drew, I think it was like, a reduction stitch, so it was like 50 stitches off your next project, and then the other roll, the next roll, landed me on a community chest, and that was take 100 stitches off of your project. And then I landed on the tunnel, so I moved across the board. I remember that. And then rolled, and you know what, I'm going to be honest, I can't actually remember what my final roll turned out to be, because I know I had to take those stitches off of it. But basically I did that number of stitches on this project. And then I sort of started thinking about my next month's goal. And yesterday, so November the 1st, I basically knew that this month I did want to get this piece finished. So I just carried on working on it. And yesterday I did over 1,000 stitches. So altogether, I put in, where are we? Temperature tree. So yeah, so altogether I put in 1,348 stitches, plus the back stitch at the bottom that I did not count. So like, I don't know, a couple of hundred stitches for that. And I actually finished it, and I did not think this part through. Have I got a little piece of paper or something? But yes, right, because I'll show you why in a minute. Right, very crudely covered that up there. But there we go, this is the finished tree. And then what I've stitched at the bottom, so I've written temperature tree, as well as the highest temperature and the lowest temperature for the year. And then I've also written there, so temperature tree for the year of my birth, 1991. And then over this side, I wrote where I was born. So, which coincidentally is where I live right now. So that's why I'm covering it up, because I don't think everybody on the internet needs to know where I live. But yes, so all finished. Like I said, I'd done the whole tree and was doing the temperatures month to month. This was where I sort of started. I finished, I think I had 2 leaves on this tree, on this branch to do in this one, and then basically did sort of September, October, November, December, sort of swigged down and did all of those. But yes, so this was my first finish for November, which I am taking part in Jenna's No New Starts November. And as part of that, I thought I would try and actually finish some projects instead of starting some, to get my WIP count down. And this is my first piece there. So this is on a piece of Cloudstone 36 count from Fabric Flair. I buy their fabrics from Sew It All in the UK. And yes, and like I said, this was from the year of my birth, and I think I am still planning on doing a matching one for like maybe the current year. So I think 2026 is the year I turn 35. So I thought I could do it for the year I turn 35. So I would have used the same colours for the same temperatures, just to see if how much the temperatures have changed. If anyone was curious, how I managed to get these temperatures for the year 1991 is I use Google to find out if there was a weather report station in my area, even in my greater city, is what I was looking for, but I've managed to find one in this part of the city that I live in, and I could find online temperatures going back sort of about 10 years. And on a whim, I emailed the person that records the temperatures and was like, by any chance, you know, has this been going on? Like, do you have paper records going back earlier, specifically 91? And I vaguely explained to him what I was doing, but I was like, also, anyone that doesn't really stitch probably doesn't get what this is. So I kind of vaguely explained what I wanted them for. And yeah, he went away and he came back to me with a spreadsheet and was like, you know, yes, we do. Here's the temperatures. Good luck, sort of thing. So that is how I specifically got them for that year. he does have, there is a website where he records the daily temp, or I don't know if he's or if it's like electronically recorded, but either way, that records them daily. So that would be where I would get the temperatures for next year. It's on that same site, as they come through the sort of maximum minimums of the day and stuff. So, but yeah, but that's basically how I did it. I just found the local weather station and emailed on a whim to see if they still had records, and he did. So that's where I got these from. But yeah, so this is my first week. Like I said, I did and R for a little while about whether I should still bother to do another one, but yeah, but I think I still will, or at least I'll start grabbing the temperatures and see, because if give or take they're exactly the same, then I might not bother. But I thought surely they're going to be different enough that I wouldn't have two complete twins. Like, I mean, you can see here, like in January, February, March, like in April, there was like a really warm few days in April, and there were some really cold days in February. I think it snowed here in February. You know, so I thought it's not going to be exactly the same, is it? So yeah, I think I will still do it. And I think I'll do it for my 35th as kind of a 35 years on kind of thing. I don't know. It's either that or I'll wait till my 40th, but that's like 5 more years. So, you know, I'm sure we'll get there. I'll start recording the temperatures anyway, whether I decide to do it or not. But yes, anyway, so that was all of my whips that I worked on. I'm just going to let me gather all of that stuff back up, pop it all together down there, out of the way. Whoops. Okay, and the last project I worked on this month, almost forgot about, but was the round robin. So this is the round robin I'm doing with the Stitchy Collection group, and this is our second piece, or the second round sort of thing, and this piece is Summer Wishes. So this is a little chart here. So it says sandy toes, salty kisses, lazy days and summer wishes, and it's 4 little beach huts on the beach. But yeah, so I was the second person to have this, so it came with a section already complete, and this is on a piece of 18 count Ada, and oh, here we go. No, let's hold that up there. There we go. So this piece was already complete along with the border, and this was the section I did. So I picked the beach hut that had the little heart at the top and the sort of some of the little plants at the bottom. But yeah, so there was my section. So that leaves, coincidentally, that leaves the 2 blue huts to do. So both the red ones are done. So there's 2 blue ones left. One has a sort of round window in the top, and the other one has a fish, a cool little fish plaque on it. But yeah, so I did this one, and this was 1,325 stitches, including all the back stitch, because these are all sort of back stitched, all the grass, but yes. So there we go. So that was my section done. So I think we're not due really to swap until sort of towards the end of the year. But I thought I did want to manage to get mine in and done, because I didn't want to forget about it, and then all of a sudden we get to getting ready to rotate again, and then I have to rush and get it finished. So I thought I would sort of start mine up there. But yes, there we go. And also what I did is I did mention last month that because it was Halloween, I do have some of these little mill hills, so I was going to start on Halloween, but I thought that's right near the end of the month. I don't want a new start at the end of the month, and I thought, what if, because they are on the paper instead of fabric, what if I stitch on them on my lap stand in the lounge while I'm watching something on the TV? And this month we have had the Great British Bake Off and the Celebrity Traitors that's been airing, that I've been watching with my mum. So, right, I will start one at the start of the month with those shows and watch as we go through. So this was the first one that I picked up, which is the Taboo kitty. So these are all from the Autumn Harvest collection from Mill Hill. So they're all the smalls. And here is the Taboo kitty. And I did do this one just from the paper, just holding the paper. I was able to clamp the paper in my stand, and it was a bit floppy, but it worked quite well. And here it is, all finished apart from being cut out. All the stitching's done, all the beads done. We've got a little charm here, a little star. But yes, so all the beads are finished. Little spider here, got a cobweb up here. Obviously the pumpkin and the kitty. In the sort of, it looks a bit like a lantern or, you know, a house window. But yes, so I've not cut this out yet or backed it onto the felt, but I'll just get some black felt to stick on the back there. So that was my first one. And this one had 905 stitches that I did, and this one took me a week and a half. So that would be 1 bake off, 2 traitors, 1 bake off, one traitor, so like 5 hours to do for this ish. I think they're an hour long each. I think traitors into an hour and a half because it has an extra part. So I think these probably took me about 6.5 to 7 hours each to do. So that's that one. So I quite like that with the cat. And then the next one I picked up was the Enchanted Moon. So that's this piece here. And this is on black paper. Now, in between these two, what I had done is I'd bought I haven't got it with me. I had bought the one of the little frames from Talking Dog Stitchery that you have in, you know, little wooden frames. You can get the bigger ones, you can get the small ones. I'm not describing it very well. I probably should have gone and got it. I'm using it, but I'm not going upstairs. So the Enchanted Moon. This one did say magnet included, but this one did not come with a magnet. The other one did come with a magnet. I mean, I'm not probably going to use them as magnets anyway, so it's irrelevant. But still, yeah, that one did say magnet included as well. But either way, yeah, I've been diddled a magnet. So, but yeah, this was on the black paper. Now this one I did find really hard to do the black stitches on. So I believe I started with the black, but after doing one length, it occurred to me that it was just too hard. So I went on to doing the orange. So I stitched this, all the orange, then all the beads, apart from the black outlines. There's a beaded, this black, the outline is beads all the way around. But I did all the orange, all the beads, then I filled in the black, then I did the outline. And then I haven't cut it out yet, but I have done the little sort of tassely bead thing. I'm sure that'll be fine as long as I'm gentle, careful when I cut around it. But if I don't put that in now, by the time I get around to cutting it round, I won't put it in at all. So yeah, so hopefully that's okay as it is for that one. So that one was 884 stitches for that one. And then I have just picked up, so this last week, of the Traitors. So that would have taken, that one took a bit longer because the black was really hard to stitch into it. So that took, let's see, so 2 weeks of the Traitors and 2 bake-offs that did. So that took sort of about an extra hour and a half. And then this week, for the last, for Thursday's Traitors, I picked up this one to stitch. Now this again is on black paper, but the paper isn't quite the same as this one. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's because this black paper is slightly shiny and the other one is very matte, but I can see the black to stitch on it. So yeah, this one is definitely more of a grey paper than black. So either way, I've started on that one, and I believe I have just started with the black outline to get that. But yeah, so that's that one with all the beads in there. And I will be getting that one finished this month as I continue to watch, because we've got the final of the Bake Off and the final of the Traitors this coming week. So that'll be getting done as we watch those. And I'm probably going to then have to find another show to watch to carry on doing some little bits. But as I am participating in Jenna's No New Starts, I can't start a new one. So I'm going to have to be pulling out some of my other projects that are nearly finished and finishing them. So sort of flowing from projects into plans. One of my pieces that I've nearly finished is this one. I found this when I was going through sort of all of my old magazines and like little freebie things. You know, you get like the freebies that come with the magazines. This one came with cross stitcher. It does not say when, so I have no idea. But yeah, but I have a bunch of these that came in the magazines, some of which I had started. This one I have started. I'd finished one flower, but I hadn't finished the second one. So this one is going to be getting finished and made up. I also put up my list of whips and which ones were close to a finish. And I have my Seashell Treasures, which is here, which, oh, let's try not to get anything tangled, because I've got it all out here because I wanted to see how far it was. So Seashell Treasures, Dimensions Gold Petite, and this, whilst it's only halfway through, it has the least number of stitches left on it. I think I estimated that it had about 2,000-ish stitches left. I think so I got halfway and I'd done about 2,000. So I was like, well, the other half's going to be about 2,000. So this is going to be a goal to get finished this month as well. And then I'm going to have a look around and see if I've got any other little things that I'd started but not quite finished, and try and finish those as well. So in terms of the whips, I have my whip list. This is the smallest by quite a way. So this one has only 2,000 stitches left. I think the next like smallest number of stitches was like nearly 10,000 sort of thing. It was like 8,000 and something. I can't really remember because I remember seeing it and thinking, well, I'm not going to get that done in a month. So I kind of went straight past it. But yes, so that is the smallest whip that I've got. I've got obviously my little piece of toast, still needs the scarf putting on. So that will be getting finished this month, mainly because that needs finishing by the middle of the month for me to participate in the exchange. So that's that one. But yeah, I'm going to have another look through, see if any of the other pieces like this had been started, and get those finished and have the whip pile into my finishes pile. But yeah, so that's going to be my goal for the month, and I'll probably have this set up as my new stitch on it, you know, maybe stitch on it while I'm watching something on the telly. Whether this is easy enough to stitch on it while I'm watching the TV, I don't know. So, you know, some projects you're stitching on them and like you really have to think about stitching and like counting and getting everything, and then others you can kind of look and go, oh, 10, okay, and just stitch it like 10 in. You know, you don't have to doesn't need as much brain power as some. So I'm not sure if it has. But one thing I have done, which is why it's all out, is I went to photocopy the chart last night because I've been struggling with using the chart. So I thought, oh, I'll just photocopy it and then I can kind of scribble all over it and I don't have to worry about making a mess or whatever on the chart. And as I was photocopying it, I thought, you know what, why am I photocopiing this? I thought, why don't I just scan it and put it into Pattern Keeper? So instead I took a photo of the chart and I put it into Pattern Keeper. So it probably took probably about 15 minutes, I think, to get it in, because obviously when I just took a photo, it wasn't exactly perfectly square. Had I thought about it, I probably could have scanned it into the computer and moved it into my Google Drive, and then, but I didn't. I just took a photo and was like, oh, it'll be fine. So yeah, it took a little while to line it up and make sure it was even. But yeah, so now that's in Pattern Keeper. And last night I was sort of trying to mark off on Pattern Keeper what I'd already done. So I'm hoping that'll make that a bit easier to stitch. So when you scan in a chart, or when I've done a chart from a photo, it's not been able to find to do the symbols. So I've not been able to actually write in the numbers for the symbols. But being able to actually zoom into a section of chart and like mark off what I've done is infinitely better than having it on paper. So whilst I can't use the search feature on the Pattern Keeper app, just being able to mark off, because you can manually sort of mark off, say, all of one symbol and then click highlight, and it will highlight those symbols so that you can go and mark them off. But yeah, just being able to have it on the screen is a hell of a lot better than having it on the paper with that sort of chart. That's quite intense. But yes, so hopefully this one will be easier to work on and I can get that finished this month. But my other goals for this month, I still have my greenhouse, so my next greenhouse part, which is finishing the right atrium above Darwin's head. So there's some pots and plants there. And my WIPGO rolls. So Jessie did her WIPGO rolls for this month, and I can't remember the numbers that she did roll, but I know the numbers left were number 1, number 13 and number 25, because it kind of went in a diagonal. So for December, they're the numbers called, but for November it was the other two, which for me again was my Animal Kingdom and Bathtime. So I have those 2 pieces to work on this month. So that'd be 4,000 in each, and then yes, I'll be working on getting some finishes done. Not sure if I'll get to doing any Wipopoly rolls. It depends how long it takes to have these finishes. If this one's taking a bit long to work on, I might swap it out for a different project for a while, but we'll have to see. But goals wise, that's what I've got for this coming month, November. Like I said, no starts, so I have to hold off on starting anything new. I do have sort of a few more of these, but no, they're going to have to wait. I need to focus on finishes for this month. But yes, getting ready for the end of the year. So I have a little bit of shopping to show that I got from Rachel. So when I got the little Mill Hill frame, I had a look on the clearance section and bought a couple of other bits that I will show you. But other than that, that is everything sorted for this month. So yeah, so into November, so gearing up for the end of the year. Like I said, trying to get my whip count down, need to get my Christmas piece finished, need to get those 2 smalls finished for the exchange, and then I'll be looking at towards plans for next year. But yeah, so if that's all you were here for, thank you very much, and I will see you soon. If you want to see what goodies I got from Rachel, please hold. Oh, there we go. So this looks like the wrong box. Wait a moment. This is the wrong box. I don't know where the box from Rachel has gone. Okay, I'm gonna have to go and find that. But I mean, this is still shopping. It's not stitchy shopping. It's knitting shopping, but you know, it's Halloween-esque, so I will show it off. But yeah, so this is from Blue Fern Yarns. Oh. Okay, I'm going to crop that out because that was a lot of rustling of tissue paper while I tried to open it again. Okay. So I ordered her Halloween special parcel, and I ordered a mini set. So this was the yarn I ordered. So this is her Yak Luxe DK weight, which is a combination of merino, yak and silk, and this is one of my favourite bases from her. Yak yarns do tend to dye darker because wool that has yak in it is kind of almost it's like a beigey brown to start with, depending on how much yak quantity is. So when you're dyeing a brown yarn, it's going to be darker than when you're dyeing a white yarn, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I ordered her Halloween set. If I can find the inspiration photo, I will add it in. But yeah, so this came with a 100-gram piece, which is 212 meters, and then 3 20-gram minis. I wonder if I can just pop it off here. I haven't decided what I'm going to knit with this yet. I was thinking just a cowl or something with the 3 colours, but I'm not 100% sure what I've decided. But these are the 3 minis. So we've got a nice sort of mottled purple, pink, and then the orange. They're those 3. And then this is the main skein that does have the speckles of pinks and purples and orange, but it's mainly this kind of lovely teal, sort of like greyy teal colour, which is nice, and it is super soft and very, very squishy. But yeah, so, and it's not scratchy, so with the yak and the silk in it, as opposed to like an alpaca or a, what's it, the suri, not the suri, what's the fuzzy yarn you get? My brain's gone. Oh no, I can't even remember what it is. No, mohair, there we go. I know I get that. So it's, yeah, so mohair can be a bit prickly, but this, it has got that kind of like ever so slight fluffiness that sort of has the warmth, but it is very soft with the silk, so it's not scratchy at all. But yes, so I need to dig out a pattern that we use these for. And then in the winter pack, we've got some sweeties, so some Thornton's salted caramel, and these. So these are. Can I take them out of the packet? Let me take them out of the packet. Please hold. Right, there we go. Some black stitch markers, and then these are like needle stoppers. So you put them on the ends of your knitting needle. And they're rubber, so they kind of stick to the knitting needle to stop your project flying off. But they are haunted houses. So yes, so, and yeah, they've got a hole in the top and bottom, and sort of, so you can just pop your needle end in there and do that. Right, so I'm gonna have to press pause here, and now I'm gonna have to go find Rachel's parcel, which I can't remember where I put it. I remember leaving it out specifically for the video, which is why I thought it was that box, which is why I grabbed it. I bet it's not even a box. I bet it's like a jiffy bag or something. Oh gosh. Right, well, I'm going to pause this because you don't have to like watch an empty space while I go look. Okay, there we go. Found it. So it was a box. It was a bit smaller box, but it was still a box. But yes, there we go. So the goodies that I got from Rachel. Like I said, I got the little Mill Hill frame, and then I went through the clearance section for patterns. I believe that's just a piece of tissue now, isn't it? Yes. So a few patterns that I picked up. Oh, so I got this one from Counting Puddles, because cats, obviously. This is Crafty Cats with the yarn. But yeah, so I might try and change sort of the colour of the cats to kind of match my cats that I've had. Depends how easy that is to change. Another cat one I got was this one from Sprouting Lupine. So this is called Mischief in the Garden. But yes, so the cats in the garden, that one there. And then I picked up these two from the Primitive Hare. So this was the Bee Queen of the Needles. So it is a needle book there. So you've got the outside and the inside, because bees. And then this is the Spirit's Tower, which has like five sides that you put together, and they make the kind of like the greenhouse shape that I believe was blue fern, no, that's Jan, blue something, oh gosh. Who does cross stitch? It's blue somethings. The blue flower. There we go. Sort of last year, like the Nashville show or something, had one of these. I believe it could have been the Jingle Ball actually. But yes, and this one, it is trying to have this sort of giant button thing on the back side. I didn't order the button with mine, so I'm not sure what I'll be doing on that extra side. I might just use it to put sort of my name and sort of whatnot, or I could do it four-sided instead. But yes, but there's those with the animals. So you've got a fox, a peacock, a swan and a deer, are the four creatures. Oh no, is there more than 4 creatures? Let's see. We've got, yeah, the fox or the wolf, a deer, a peacock, a squirrel and a swan and a blank one. Oh, okay, so there's 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's definitely 5-sided. Anyway, that's irrelevant, not the point, whatever. Right. But there we go. So yes. Not that I'll be starting any of these soon, because I've got finishes to have this month. But they will be going into the mix for next year. But yes. So that's my shopping. That's all my goodies. Where did I put? Oh, it's over there. I just had that the other box with the yarn in. I was like, where did I put it? Anyway, so that's that sorted. So that's my all my progress. It's my goals for next month. I've shown you my starts. I've shown you my finishes. And yeah, so in terms of numbers, I will just add these at the end. So my total stitching for this month was 18,147 stitches. I believe I'm not on par to get my 200,000 by the end of the year. I think I still need like 50,000 stitch, like 25 a month. I don't think I'll get quite that much, considering my best month I think has only been about the 18,000. So I don't think I'll hit my 200, but you know, it was a good goal to set and sort of work towards. Maybe next year. But in terms of my stitchy bank, so I managed to bank half of that, so 9,074 stitches. I spent 6,096 stitches on my new starts. So that has left me carrying forward to next month 44,532 stitches, like I said, which will cover. So I keep putting my shirt down, but I should have tucked it in. So I need to dig out my New Year, New Start, because I can't remember how many stitches are in that. But I know one of my next year's goals is 25,000. So yeah, so I'm saving up to have my New Year, New Start. But yes, so thank you very much for watching, if indeed you still are. And I hope everyone had a lovely October, and we're looking forward to November and winding up for the end of the year. But yes, so thank you very much, and as always, I love you lots. I will see you soon. Bye.